Are we rolling yet?
Yep, we're rolling.
Sorry guys, I'm excited.
You gotta start with the crack, my boy. You gotta start with the crack. Come on now.
Am I allowed to talk to them directly?
You're a little too excited right now. You're squirting all over the place. To life.
To brotherhood.
Can't take this man nowhere.
Bro, you know what I just thought about?
Huh.
On the way here, I kept thinking about how all this started. And just being down here with you, spending time with you.
Yeah.
It's not fun being down here in my situation. But you know what I've learned? Being with you through the good and being with you through the bad is still beautiful. And we talked about how there's beautiful in the ugly and beautiful in the good. Good and bad. I wouldn't have cigar or drink or not, it's just me and you spending time together that matters the most to me. And I want to look back in my album of memories when I'm old in my rocking chair of everything I did.
Real question is, what kind of rocking chair would you have?
So you remember in Key and Peele? They were both gangsters, but they were from the opposite gang. And then they were both old and they were on the porch.
Yup.
That's me and you. That kind of rocking chair.
Oh, God.
The squeaky one, you know, with the little wobbly leg.
We gotta throw a clip in there.
Where are we putting our drinks at?
I'm holding mine right here, but
Ooh, don't fall.
look at that. Yeah, I'm just keeping mine right here.
Okay, I'm gonna. Boom.
Mi Bruda.
Yeah.
Last time we did this, we was talking about love. We was both happily in love.
Yeah.
We was excited about love. And just like yin yang, we went from the peak of love to the reality of love. Really quick. Really quick.
Just like this grass, it's not always green. Especially on the other side. Expectations, we were talking about that, remember? They really are the killer of joy. You know, you expect things to seem one way, but when you're in the actual position of it, it's not as the way it seems. For example, when I was in the military, I expected that to be a high-tier job. It would be enjoyable. Yeah, it would come with its stresses, but not stressful in the way I imagined. So much so that when I left and I came back to Amazon, which is the job I got out of high school, the same way I enjoyed it in high school was the same way I enjoyed it when I got out, compared to the military, which I thought I would have loved. And even now, you reminded me not to carry that same expectation coming back either, because things always change. And that's true. When I came back to Amazon, there were major changes. So I think expectation can ruin a lot of things. We think we deserve things, or we think we expect stuff to come out a certain way. And when they don't, that's when stuff hits the fan or stuff goes unexpectedly and we crash out emotionally.
It's funny that you bring up expectation. I've been reading Love I forgot the author's name, but I shit you not, that's the title. That's the title. I've been reading that book, and one of the biggest problems that a lot of people run into is having expectations for your partner.
You hit that on the nail. I expect so much out of my partner. I expect so much out of, I know you're gonna edit this, I'm gonna just, because I wanna have that flow. I expect so much out of Dana, you know? I expect way too much out of her. You know, she's her, and I gotta remind myself that. I can't mold her all the time into how I want her to be, and I think the reason I do that is because of how I want to be treated. My expectations of what I think I deserve based on how I was previously, you know, maybe how I was treated or what I went through or whatever, maybe. I mean, I know that's the case for me. I don't know about you.
I know for me, when things are good, I really expect them to stay at that good spot,
Yeah.
but it's so unrealistic. It is so unrealistic. Like, I didn't realize this until we were on vacation. Like, you expect, right there, you expect vacation to be beautiful. Everything is supposed to be so seamless, stress-free, total opposite. No.
Okay, you didn't have to do it like a pimp though. You said,
Hey, oh,
yeah, yeah.
No.
You're being a showball. You got it. It's lit. It's lit. Nemo, you got it. You're good.
I know.
You're good.
Hey, be like, hey, give me a light. Phew. Hey, phew. Hey, Neff.
Nemo, don't inhale it. Oh my. No, you inhaled it. Oh no. You okay? That shit is strong, bro. You okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I inhaled it by accident. These are, when I first used this
Yeah.
and I inhaled it, I looked it up. You're not supposed to. It's for the flavor. And I was like, ah, and I was coughing like crazy. And then the nicotine hits.
God.
So there's a high amounts of nicotine and chemicals in smoke in here. It's dangerous to inhale.
But vacation. I expected everything to be good.
Mine went out.
Hey, give me a light.
Why
Light.
not?
No, keep puffing. You gotta do the crackhead. Keep puffing.
Yeah.
There you go.
I accidentally inhaled it just now.
We some crackheads right now. Being in that spot made me realize it's not fair for her, for me to have expectations. It's not fair for me to expect stuff. And the sad part is, we usually don't learn this until we go through it. You know, we usually don't realize, like, hey, it's not always going to be good. We're going to have problems. We're going to have rough times. We're going to have ups and downs. Mm-hmm. And I feel bad for how I was as a man. Like, this isn't even at a partner level. Like, this is just human nature. I feel bad how I was, and how I acted. And there's no amount of explaining that could make her feel like she could forgive me, or that she needs to forgive me, or anything like that. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, it's life. It either happens or it doesn't. And there's a lot that I learned. There's a lot that I want to apply, but I don't know. This is the ugly side of love that they don't talk about. And I don't know how to get through it other than one day at a time.
I think you hit that on the nail. I think there's no way to explain that better except literally moment by moment, step by step, and one day at a time. You can look, it's so easy to look too far and to look back and compare.
I am guilty of that.
I think we all are.
I am very guilty.
I think it's human nature.
And I was talking to you about this when we got back. There was a lot of things I'm like, I didn't go through this last time. But I'm like, why am I even thinking about last time? And what makes me feel bad is, I'll be honest, I sometimes judge her and act a certain way around her when she talks about the past. But then in privacy, I'm doing the same thing with you. I'm like, that's not right. I can't be doing that. That makes me a hypocrite. And I can't do that, especially to the lady that I love. Just because, I'm not happy right now. We need happy times to balance, or we need sad times to balance out the happy times.
It's funny because every time I come to D about something, and then we have our own issues, I come to you. And she brought it up one time. She's like, "Why do you always run to him? Why do you always go to Nemo? It's like you're talking behind my back." It's like she's like, I don't do that to you when I'm with my friends. I don't do that to us.
See, I feel like that's just a lack of understanding. Because she does. She talks to her cousins about everything.
Yeah, she did.
Maybe it's how often. Maybe that could be it.
Well, so I'll say this: she didn't start doing that until I started doing it more with you. So I think she's trying to copy me. Dana has a thing of reflecting what I do.
Go ahead. We're going to touch on that 100%.
But sometimes she'll do it after she starts something with me, and then say I'm the cause of it, and she's just doing what I do. But you started something with me first, and I'm just reacting to how you started, what you started, you know? And I have to remind her that.
Mirroring is a big thing. I forgot who I was talking to the other day, but I was telling them all the overthinking I've been having, all the anxiety I've been having, all the stress I've been having. I might have been talking to you about this. I don't know. I was talking to someone, and I was saying, like, these things are stressing me out. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm doing right. The communication is hard. I'm noticing different signs, this and that. And what homie told me was, our partner is usually a mirror of us. The moment he said that, I immediately knew it's me. I'm the one that's contributing to her anxiety. I'm the one that's contributing to her stress. I'm not being the best person I could be, and there are times where I'm probably the root cause for some things. And it's because I haven't figured my shit out yet. I'm still trying to get to a point where I'm like, hey, I need to focus on me so then I can focus on us as a whole. But until I can focus on me, I'm really just damaging us.
I think my struggle with that, to touch on what you said, is when I focus on me, she can take it the wrong way sometimes. Because when I met her, she was used to me giving her attention a certain way. So when I start focusing on me,
Expectations.
for her or for me,
Honestly, both. She might be expecting you to still give her that attention.
that same type of attention. But I communicate with her though, and I tell her why I can't do that. And she feels some type of way because she thinks it's from something else.
Are you guys recording?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it okay?
Yeah, you're
it's
good.
fine.
You're
You're
good.
fine. She expects that, and even if I communicate it, she thinks it's about something else.
Yeah.
Like, we got into it recently, you know, just text message. She's wondering why I'm being dry. I'm telling her it's because I'm with you, and I'm trying to focus on talking to you. Trying to focus on this. She thinks it's because of something I texted or said earlier.
Going back to the mirroring, you told me earlier that you assumed she was cheating.
Yeah.
Do you think it's that stress that's causing her to act like that? Is causing her to overly communicate with you or overly check up on you?
I don't know. I probably should ask her, because that's the thing. When I get so focused on how someone's treating me, I forget why they're acting the way they are sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing it for whatever reason. I don't think about that enough. So maybe that's a good point. Maybe I need to talk to her more. Maybe to look at things from a different angle. Ask her, maybe, are you acting the way you are because of, you know, what I said earlier? Are you trying to communicate? Yeah, good insight. Good insight. Have you experienced that?
Yeah, that's where the whole mirroring conversation came from. Was I was wondering, why is she closing off? And the big thing was physically, you know, my love language is physical touch. She hates it, like hates it with a passion, but I noticed the more that we're around each other, the more that we experience together, the more time we spend, the more she starts to like physical touch. Like, she may not vocalize it, but her body language is coming to me more than I come to her. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm noticing that. But then when that shift happened where she started to back away, I'm like, oh, something's wrong. that's where I'm like, okay, I was looking at it from the wrong perspective. Again, I'm looking at it from trying to fix her instead of trying to focus on me. I was like, oh, what is she going through? What is causing her this? What is she doing? Like, it's always her as the problem instead of looking within. What am I doing that might be contributing? How am I supporting her to the level that I need to? Am I being enough of a friend to her? Am I checking up on her enough? Am I making sure she is okay? Am I causing some of the stress? You know, am I checking up on her too much? Am I communicating with her too much?
Do you think that's possible to over communicate with your partner?
100%. 100%. And I'm guilty of it. Like we were saying in the last episode, she wasn't ready for a relationship. And I was hard-headed, you know? Everything was going good, so I'm like, hey, you say that, but you're showing me this. And yes, I could see it as she was showing me that, but at the same time, she was also just being a friend. And I took it the wrong way. And don't get me wrong, it's led us to this point, which I'm thankful for, but I did rush it. And there are times where I would bring up the title conversation.
Oh, no.
And the title conversation always leads to her shutting off or me shutting off. You know, it's always one or the other. It's never a good time, and it's because I'm not being patient enough, and I'm always trying to rush it. I'm always trying to be like, hey, when are you ready? When are you ready? When are you ready? And now I'm starting to learn I need to slow down.
I'm guilty of that, man. You know, one of the things me and her talked about was the future and kids and our sex life. She wants us to continue doing what we're doing, but doesn't want to get pregnant. But if she gets pregnant, she wants to get an abortion, and she told me she's going to kill herself. Either or. She said she was joking about killing herself, but she didn't say she was joking about abortion. Then I told her I just don't want to have sex in general then. And then she started feeling some type of way. And it's like, okay, well, I want to please you still, but I don't want to get you pregnant either. And I don't want to have to go through that. But I also don't like that you tell me that you want to have kids with me one day, just not now, and then you retract that by saying you don't want to have kids at all. So she goes back and forth between that. But then, you know, she pillow talks me and tells me she wants to have my kids, and I can't tell if she's pillow talking or, you know, she goes back and forth between I want to have kids with you, I love you, so I'm not ready. Or then she'll ask me if she should right before I came here, she asked me to get her pregnant. So it's like, you know, we go through some weird stuff. It's really confusing with her sometimes. I don't know what she expects out of me. But I don't want to do anything that's against my beliefs either. So right. I don't want to. She may believe in abortion. I don't believe in it. But I respect her, and I don't want to do that. So I think in the long run, I'm like, all right, well, let's just be abstinent. Or then I try to bring up other ways to compromise. It's, okay, can we use protection? Fertility tracking. Can we pull out? But she's like, no, I want you to keep going the same way. We were. And I'm like, oh, well, you're putting me in a boat here where you're making me go against my beliefs and making me do what you want.
One thing that my lady said to me yesterday was boundaries. Not yesterday, 2 days ago. We were having a conversation. And she was telling me I needed to set boundaries. You know, we were talking about something totally separate from us, but she was saying boundaries. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, yes, boundaries, but then how do you set those boundaries?
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling to figure out.
And that goes back to working on ourselves so we can put ourselves in a position to help the ones around us.
I think we need to set boundaries for ourselves. Just like we always tell ourselves we have to love ourselves so we can love others.
100%.
I think we have to have boundaries for ourselves. We have to tell ourselves no when it comes to certain things.
And that is something that she's gonna have to figure out is, okay, she wants to have your kids when you're in the moment, but for the sake of being PG-13, as we're smoking cigars, she says that she wants to have kids in the moment, but she will follow that up with abortion. She has to figure herself out. You know, she has to figure out what she wants as a woman, because that is it's a major conversation. It's also a major decision to either follow through with having a kid or follow through with an abortion. That's something that, like we were saying last time, you guys have to find that balance, but she has to find it first. With us, we can pretty much pivot to anything. We can pivot towards having kids, we can pivot towards not having kids. But it is our ladies that are the ones that actually have to carry that life inside of them.
Yeah.
They have to make that decision. Hey, am I going to risk my health to make sure we can create life ourselves, or we can create life together? She has to be willing to understand the severity of that. And until she has a definite answer, like mine, for example, no on kids. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No. And I'm okay with that. But that is a decision that she made. She had to find that conclusion. She's going to have to go through it. Because that back and forth is very confusing for you, but at the end of the day, it is her decision. So.
I think she's adamant on not having kids, so I'm going to stick with that. She's more on that side as opposed to having children. And she did, I guess, sober-mindedly, because emotions can be non-sober. I'll say sober-mindedly she doesn't want to. So I'll stick with that and roll with that.
And that's what it sounds like. If you're saying she's saying that while making love, that she wants to have your kids, that's not a sober thought. That is I am horny, pin me to the bed.
Well, she says it too outside of that sometimes, and that's what confuses me. Like, you know, she'll ask me out of nowhere when we're having a cuddly, lovey-dovey moment.
Yeah. Even then, serotonin is rushing when you're cuddling. All kind of emotions are going through.
Well, you're right. So I guess I need to stop taking everything she says so seriously.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I don't want to say that. Again, that's something that she is going to have to be certain of. Because think about it like this too. You already have kids. You have fulfilled your part as a man. Now it is focusing on, okay, what do you two want to do together as a whole? Remember what the Bible says, a son will leave his mother and father and become one with his wife. You guys have to come together as one to make that decision.
And I have internal conflict because for me, I feel like I didn't start the family with the right woman. So I feel like I need to have a fresh start with her, in a sense. But I told her when I get back, I don't want to live together. I want to live on my own because I know you want your freedom to smoke without having to worry about children too.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, and I know I've seen how we were when we were living together. And she was just like, okay. And I was like, oh, no back and forth. I'm assuming she's, you know, I feel like you sometimes. I feel like if I don't get a little back and forth, I don't know what that means, or if it's just a simple okay, is it you just accepted it, or? So I'm kind of just treating it as such, you know. I'm taking it as it comes, case by case basis.
That's one of those struggles of being a man. We don't communicate the same. With us, it's very straight to the point. Like, hey, you want to go hoop today? It's either a yes or a no.
Or yeah, it's that. We're truthful, you know. We're direct. They're indirect.
It's something like this. Like, hey, you doing overtime tomorrow? Yes or no. You want to go hoop? Yes or no. You want to film a video? Yes or no. Do you want to get married? Yes or no. Even if it's a not right now, but down the road. Okay, that's a no, but it could be a yes. But it's still very straight to the point. With them, it's not always like that. And that's where I notice a lot of our struggles come from is we don't always understand that. Niff.
If you just suck on it and then keep the lighter,
Hey,
or keep the match next to it, it'll light up.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
The crackhead work. Can't find it. Where did I put that box?
You know the part that I struggle with?
What is it?
I feel like it's the masculine feminine. What is it? Like the masculine feminine dynamic.
I do too. I learned to let it go a little more and focus on doing the right thing instead of focus on being masculine or feminine.
Yeah.
I've started focusing on more do the right thing regardless of how you look.
Yeah.
And because perception isn't always right. Perception changes. So people might not perceive you as dominant in the moment based on your decision.
Yeah.
But if you did the right thing, it's like you get.
And see, that's something we were talking about was perspective. That was the one thing that we kept saying over and over, but we were talking about it more in a positive way last time. Now we get that other side of perspective. You know, we get the side that's not so pretty. We get the side that is the real side. It's what makes or breaks a relationship. And you see, that is, I had to talk to my dad about this. I really had to talk to him about, like, dude, what do you do when you're not on the same page? What do you do when things aren't good? Because it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. It's yin yang. Right now, things aren't so good, but yet we're still going. Last time, it was fucking amazing. I said it over and over, like, that was the best 3 to 4 weeks we've had. And then now I'm getting, this is going on week 3 right now of it not being so good. It sucks that we have ups and downs, but I feel like it's a part of love is sticking with the one that's worth going through those ups and downs for. And I was talking to my mom about it too, and she was like, hey, me and your father have been together for almost 30 years. You think we enjoyed all 30? I'm like, couldn't have. There were plenty of times where things just weren't so good, and I remember growing up hearing some of those arguments, hearing some of those disagreements. You know, it wasn't always a good time, but I guess the question is your partner worth living through those bad times for?
Art of War. Sun Tzu. You lose the battle, but you win the war. I thought about that while you were describing the situation. I also thought about this cream soda. Smooth and slow, bittersweet. The bitter and sweet, but they work together, and they are opposites of each other. They're yin and yang, and yet they're smooth and they flow. It's the same dynamic between the relationship, between anything we go through in life. There's a bittersweetness to it. There's a flow. There's a smoothness, like brandy. Like the cigar, it's smooth. It has a bitterness to it, but it's creamy and it works. Just because it works doesn't mean it's always right in the moment. Good viewing, good perspective. Sometimes the decisions can be bitter, but can be sweet in the long run. Sometimes it can be sweet in the moment, or bitter in the long run. And there's a balance to all of it. All those ups and downs eventually can stabilize. But too much of one can deter you onto a path that you don't want to go. And to define worth, as you were touching on, do you think that's up to us to define that worth? Or is it defined within those bittersweet moments? Just a little poetry to think about.
It's a mix. It's definitely a mix.
Because I can tell you right now, out of all the sodas that I've drank, I think cream soda is my favorite. Sweet drinks I tend to kill fast. I want more. Bittersweet ones, I want to savor it. I want to take my time. It's sweet, but I don't want to kill it all.
Do you think the bad times are what slows us down while we're trying to speed up through the good times?
For most definitely. It's like almost like a check hook.
Oh. Like a checkpoint going through like when you're playing a game and you reach a checkpoint.
You know how
that checkpoint slows you down a little bit.
But you make the shot in the long run. Like, you know how sometimes Steph Curry will shoot off a guard, have someone block and then shoot off the guard? Kind of like that. It gets in the way in the moment, he loses momentum, but sometimes you have to take a step back to take a bigger one forward. And I think that's what happens sometimes. We have to take a step back. We have to stop. We can't keep going just because we see momentum and then try to push further. We have to keep the energy and the flow within the balance. As we were touching on balance, it has to remain in harmony. We don't need to force something that's going to possibly happen already. Not in our timing, but whether or not it may or may not happen, we have to accept that outcome. And I think that's where our minds can't wrap around. We're so focused on our goals sometimes and what we want out of situations and things. We forget what it's currently in. Like we were touching before, we're focused on what happened or we're focused on where it's going.
Yeah.
We need to be more here, in the moment, in the present, on what is. Not the what if, not the what has, but what is. And I think we trip up on that a lot. Expectations. They really are killer of German. Expecting stuff to go a certain way because of the past or future. And I'm sure it even tripped up, since we touched on it biblically, I'm sure it tripped up Jesus. I'm sure Jesus was like, I did not expect to come here and be treated like this. I'm the prodigal son, what's going on? And then I think that might have been a humbling moment. I think that could have been a reminder like, okay, because of this, it's also a gentle reminder for me to keep my composure. Don't lose my character and go back and forth and bicker because that's only fighting my point. It's kind of like what you were saying. Don't fight with someone because they don't see you the way you expected to be seen. That's just proving their point. Let it flow, let it happen. You know what you are, you know what you do. It'll show, kind of like what you said, the long run. I did not expect to have seniority. I didn't expect to be hired and let them my background check and everything, drug test and everything, employment paperwork to go through. Just like that. That was a blessing. But at the same time, I was trying to force it when I first got out the county.
Yeah.
And I left the county thinking I deserved the Amazon. Amazon was my baby, and I let it go. And I tried to force my way back in, but it doesn't work like that. It doesn't change the fact that there's a 3-month probation on me from coming back. No matter how much I fight it. It's like a river. There's ebbs and flows. You try to fight the current, it's gonna go the direction it's meant to go either way. Well, yeah. That baby is strong.
You got a niff?
You got a nap. I was thinking of Friday for a sec. I don't know why.
Don't get high on your own supply, man. You ain't put in on this, man. Hey, Miss Parker.
You remember when the midget came running out the house?
Hey, here he come. Here he come. Debo. I'm starting to understand what people mean by go with the flow. And the best way to really think about it is what Bruce Lee said. Be water.
You know, it's funny you brought that up. One of my most infamous sparring matches that caught Ohio boxing. I was thinking of Ohio means jobs and Ohio boxing. I was gonna say Ohio means boxing. Ohio's boxing, what caught their attention, I got posted on social media, on their page. It was a sparring video of me. I was in Akron when I was still under Coach JJ. I came into one of the most infamous gyms in Akron, and I didn't know who I was fighting. I didn't know, I had sparred a bunch of people in there. I didn't have any expectations. I came in there to have fun, to do what I love. I came in there joking around, dancing.
I think we talked about something like that before. About just going with the flow, obviously, but when we expect, we get disappointed all the time.
True.
And when we just let it happen, that's when we have the best moments. Conversations, podcasts. When we don't plan it and we just freestyle, it always goes so much better. I was telling you about this with me and my lady. When I try to force a date, I almost fail every single time. But when I'm like, hey, let's just go out and have fun, that's when we have our good memories. That's when we make our moments.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, going back to earlier, I wonder if these moments where it's not so good are needed. For the simple fact, think of a river, right? You have your spots where the river's crashing. You got white water just splashing all over the place. Very dangerous. Maybe that's the bad times. That's right now. You're stressing about Dana. I'm stressing about Alyssa. Maybe it is those bad times. But then rivers also have that smooth area where everyone can just hop in the river and swim. You can go fishing if you want to. Maybe the smooth times are the good times. But you can't have a river with one or the other. You have to have both.
I mean, there's rocks, there's boulders. A river isn't just water flowing. There's gonna be logs, there's gonna be things that get in your way. Even in a fight. You know, I remember during that sparring match, at the end of the day, I found out I had sparred with some of the most notorious fighters in Akron and walked through it like a breeze.
Is that when you fought Duran?
Before I met Duran.
Oh,
And then after I met Duran humbled me. I carried that expectation that I was a notorious fighter and I was coming up. And then when I went to DNA boxing and thought I was hot shot, I got humbled by a 17-year-old.
real quick.
He was only 17. Every sparring match after that day I got humbled, I had expectations on what to do. But then there was one day where me and Duran got to know each other. We got to spar. And he told me, why don't you stop trying to fight a certain way? Why don't you just be yourself? He's like, that's my strategy. I just be myself. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, just stop thinking. Just fight me. One day I came in the ring after my layoff back in July, August. I came back in the gym around September, October.
You were telling me that. Yep.
Came back better. Duran asked me, Why? He said, I'm here to have fun. This is what I love. I'm here to spar with you, Duran. I'm not here to try to beat you anymore. It's not my goal, bro. I want to have fun with you. This is what I love.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
I told him, boxing is more important to me than winning. The fact that I'm here, whether it's win or lose, I'm in it. I'm doing what I love. That's all that matters to me.
I was about to ask that. Do you love boxing?
I love it with my heart. And
Just let it happen.
You made me realize that. We had a conversation in your living room. You were asking me a bunch of questions. I was like interrogation mode. I was like, why is he asking me like about like what I would do for boxing?
Yeah.
And it dawned on me. I was like, my God, I love it. I didn't know I loved it until you brought it up, and I was like, wow.
Your love is boxing. My love is racing. But we still let both of those flow, right? Why don't we do that with our love life?
Yeah. We need to learn how to kill our expectations with our love life. Just as we did with our passions, I think we can apply that same strategy to things. And I think a lot of things in life, we're more successful in than others because we flow in it. Other things are not because we don't flow. I think we need to learn how to flow in other areas of our life. And we can compare to everybody who's watching. You can compare what you're good at and what you've done successfully and just see. Not comparing to make you feel bad or compare yourself to anybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying look at what you did in other successful areas and apply that to other areas of life that need improvement and see what you can do to flow better in those areas. Maybe you set more expectations in one area and maybe you didn't. I think that in our case, it applies. I once learned that it's not your decisions that make the man. It's the man who makes the decisions that make the man.
I don't know why, I just thought about work when you said that.
Thought about what?
I thought about work.
Yeah.
I have been doing a lot of things at work that aren't asked of. Like, they don't ask me to do these things. I just do it for the betterment of the job, the betterment of the workflow, and to help everyone else's, to lift the workload off of everyone else. But I don't have an expectation of, hey, your workload is going to drop this much and then their workload is going to drop a little bit more. I just, hey, I'm going to make your job easier by taking this on. And does it add to my stress? Absolutely. I come home stressed every day. You see how little I'm at home. I'm very stressed, but there's a beauty to it. Like, back to relationships. It's not always good. We're having moments right now that are questionable.
For sure.
And even in those moments, you still wouldn't trade Dana for the world, would you?
Nah, I thought about it.
She gonna cut you. She gonna cut you.
I wouldn't, because for the simple fact, through our ebbs and flows and our ups and downs, she's constantly proven herself at the end of the day. When I gave up and tried to break up with her twice, she fought for her position.
Let me ask you this. Let's go back to that. Right there. Did you expect her to save you that night?
No, I thought she was gonna get mad at me because I went to the house and leave me. I thought she was not gonna care no more. And that's why I did that.
Let me ask you this. Going back to before you even met her, that conversation that you had with God, where you're like, where is my wife? Is that something you expected from a partner, to save you from something like that?
She saved me twice, and no, not just this. I was gonna jump off a bridge when I was drunk. She drove all the way to where I was because she had my location right when my phone died, and made it just in time before my body was hanging over that bridge, and drove me home. Took care of me.
The reason why I say that, there is no way for you to expect that. That just happened.
Yeah.
That is going with the flow. I wonder if that is love right there. You know, not expecting your partner to help you in that situation. Because let's be honest, the moment you got out the Coast Guard, that was like the best time of your life right there, like being free in that moment. You didn't expect it to get to that point where it got that bad. But piggybacking off of that, you didn't expect your partner to save you in that moment. And that's not her responsibility. That was just something she did out of love.
Expectations can have a flip to it too. When I was the loneliest I was ever been. There was a point in time, one of my closest boxing friends, partners had passed away. And I expected her to be there for me. I was alone. Adrian was the only one that I could come to. And even then, he did not understand the length of how I felt, only because we met after the fact. He's been there for a very long time, prior to Adrian. And so she knew the volume of how my friend who passed away had meant a lot to me. So
I remember you telling me that you weren't even expecting her to show up. That was something that surprised you because you didn't even know that she knew him. So
the head showed up, yeah. So
that was that I went there?
Yeah, her was the one who ended up coming through to show me that love and affection during that difficult time. So when the girl that I wanted to come through didn't meet my expectations, the other person did.
That's such a bad look. I'm gonna keep it a bad with you. That's such a bad look.
It is. And my mind went to dark places, hence why I had an affair with... this is getting edited out, right?
We'll bleep out the names.
Okay.
We'll bleep out the names. I do want to keep the story in it, because that is a very beautiful story, but there's also a lot of ugly to that story.
Yeah.
Like, death is not something fun to talk about, and then going with a in that's a little, you know, but hey, it's life. You can't really, that's life. It happens.
And if you had tried to save it, you would have hurt yourself.
I would have.
But if it just happened, you're okay.
Right there, it all fizzed up and now it's going away.
And you could still come back and get it. You didn't need to force what was going to happen. You were going to get it regardless.
Just like I'm going to get you.
Hey, yeah. You had to end that segment just like the gay way. We are here with Pepe.
Shall I call you Misa? I'm sober. I swear I'm sober.
Man, this wind.
Come on, Neff. Neff, I'm telling you, you gotta do the crackhead. Neff, you gotta.
I'm so used to a lighter, that's all it is.
I'm happy we're doing this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even this right here is helping us relax and just accept what is.
I like this better than vaping every single time I feel a type of way. I realize I vape when I'm stressed, hungry, or when I want to decompress. At the end of the day, I'm still going to feel the same when I put the vape in. However, when I've learned to meditate through those unwanted moments. I've learned to fast through my hunger. I've learned to breathe through my stress. I've learned to let things come as they go. And I've realized it makes me look forward to moments like these, where it's controlled. This is controlled dopamine. This is controlled decompression, controlled stress relief.
And we're doing it in the best spot to do it, my boy. We with Mother Nature herself right now. You do not know the way.
If you do not know Yahweh. And it's crazy because all of our decisions, micro decisions, impact the bigger ones. So, yes, it's about the bigger picture. Bigger picture can't exist without the little decisions then. And you gotta make those little decisions in the moment. You gotta be in the moment for that to reach the bigger picture. You can't make the bigger picture happen without the decisions.
That's one thing I do want to touch on. When we were on vacation, there was so much I was stressing about. You know, she wasn't feeling the best. A lot of it was being in a foreign place, pretty much alone, you know. Yes, we had each other, but for the most part, it's four of us, thousands, if not millions of people in a land that we do not speak the mother language though, you know. I was so focused on, do I want to ask her the question on the trip? I was so focused on, okay, she's not being as close physically anymore. Is she okay? I'm so focused on, okay, she's not talking to me anymore. What's going on? I'm so focused on, when we get back, are we still going to be close to each other? Or is she going to back away? You know, I wasn't in a moment. And I wasn't letting things flow. That is why I had to start meditating again, because I have not been in the moment for a while. It's been a long time since I've been in the moment. This right here is helping me be in the moment. One, nature, but two, you gotta keep the lit. Like, Neff, I need a light. Like, this is helping out so much, and even conversations like this, even without the cigar, it's helping me focus on now instead of worrying about tomorrow, worrying about next week, next month, next year. That's a big problem that I have, and that's one of my biggest downfalls is I'm so worried about, oh, what's gonna come, what's gonna come? Like, my anxiety is so high with these things that I miss this right here. I feel like that has caused a lot of our problems as well. And that's something I want to get better at, but I don't really know how to other than meditation.
I'm slowly, since I've been here with you, I've been trying to treat this as a lesson that can help me in life and boxing. It's, I don't know why, but my mind always wraps around boxing.
That's what you love.
And I try to think about how everything I go through can contribute to it, or destroy or affect it. And I've realized, I've made a bubble map. I was like, who am I? I wrote in the circle, who am I? Who is me? I put a boxer, a singer, I put a father, a family man, a man of God. I put just a bunch of different things that I like to, you know, and the things that I like to partake in. And I realized I wasn't a definition of one singular thing for all of these. This is what made me. All of these things made up who I was. Then I wrote down the bad things too. They didn't fit in the bubble as far as what they contributed to the things that I love to do, but it also still signified who I was, whether if it was in the circle or not. And I realized we're in charge of who we want to become.
100%.
So the things that were in the circle, I had a choice on what not to put in it and what to put in it. And that made me realize then what I don't need to be doing in the moment and what I need to be doing in the moment. And that made me meditate even more. That made me be present. Meditation is teaching me to focus on just even now, being here, being in the breath, looking around, watching the traffic. And in those moments, those little moments where you want to dive off into your mind, into those dark places, you can kind of bring yourself back to where you're actually at. And I've been learning that. And I wrote down, I remember writing in my notebook, that big circle map, that bubble map. The missing key to me becoming the boxer that I want to be, the man that I want to be, was my mindset, my mind. I had my spirit in line, my heart in line. I had my body in line, but there was one link missing to the chain that disrupted the flow. My mind.
I want to make this very clear. That just happened as you were talking about that, which is what caused me to cough. I started thinking, I'm like, oh, what's the camera battery at? How much time do we have left before I have to stop and re-record again? Like, I wasn't there for that split second. This caught me off guard. And this made it very clear.
In the moment.
Yes. Crazy.
You made a pimp ring.
I know.
You look like Brad Pitt in that one scene with what is it, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, when he had the
Hey, stop with me.
the little Bob. The 90s Bob, Ice Cube.
Hey, no. Hey, right here, even with us going back and forth, in the moment. In the moment.
You brought me back in the moment. Watching you, I automatically thought of other podcasters, and I started getting worried. I was like, oh, we're imitating them in a way, and I was like, oh no, we're having too much fun. I'm like, in the moment. I'm here. I'm with my brother. The camera's rolling. We're doing good things for everybody. We're talking about life. We're talking about beautiful things that people need to see, man. Why am I worried about what other people are doing with their podcast?
Nelf. I lost it. It is what it is. I've had enough. It is what it is. That's my sign right there. Nothing matches. Maybe that's, I don't know. I want to say that could be what causes the good and bad times of a relationship. And I think I touched on something like this earlier. When we flow, we're in the moment. And that's when things are good. When we try to take control, that's when we're worried about the future or we're reminiscing on the past, which is what's causing it to go back to being problematic. Maybe that's something we need to do more, is be in the moment. Maybe that simple thing right there fixes our problems.
I think we need to learn too how to be more in the moment. Maybe, ashes in my eye. What's wrong with me?
That's getting cut out.
We have to find other ways aside from meditation. We're going to be in the heat of the moment where we're arguing with somebody, and we have to learn how to retract. We're going to be in the middle of halftime, and we still got to make it because the game is on us. We're going to be in the middle of the round. There's only 1 minute and 50 seconds left of that boxing match, and I'm not getting my talent in. I got to make a decision and not react just because I got clocked hard by Javante Davis. I got to pull Lamont Roach.
Well, we know if it's Tank, he's going to, All right, we got 18 minutes to wrap this one. Really, I don't think we need that much, but hey, let's let it flow.
It is what it is, man. Could be 18, could be 5, could be 10. Could be now. But what matters is that we're here. Matters is that we're doing something good. We're having fun. We're doing what we envisioned when we were trying to force it in a time that it wasn't going to happen. At least in the ways that we wanted to or expected. And yet we're here and it's happening anyway. See how things work? Not in our timing, but it came anyway. One of the most important things in boxing that beats speed, timing.
There's so many knockouts that happen just from timing.
Marquez and Pacquiao.
Don't bring up my dog like that. Why you gotta bring him up?
It was Pacquiao's my hero.
Put that man to sleep.
My hero. But the sweet science caught up to him. One of the fastest boxers in the world. He forced his speed in a moment where speed didn't belong. And timing beat it. And yet timing caught up to us when we were trying to speed through and force something within Grind Time Global. When Grind Time Global was gonna happen.
That's what it was. When we were in Charlotte, we knew we had that 3-day deadline. We tried to force that deadline. Nothing happened. Then we sat on the balcony, ramen noodles and Gatorade. Dawn.
We gotta relive that.
But I'm saying, that very moment, we were present. We weren't worried about the future. We weren't worried about the past. We weren't worried about the fact that at that time, it took us 2 years to get to that moment. In reality, it took from 2017 to 2022 to get there. Now look at us, we're in 2025. We still haven't done anything as far as
results.
Bingo.
And I think that's the thing. When you watch, I was studying my work style. I didn't enjoy being in the military because it wasn't very results driven. They came after the labor. I enjoyed Amazon because the results were present. And I think with life, it's not always present. It's a back and forth. The results are there, but also they come forward. And that's the thing, we can't be so...
the matches real quick.
And I was so wrapped up on the simple fact that I'm here, but I'm not where I want to be, and I'm working a job that I don't want to be. I was thinking of everything else even when I was at work. And I wasn't getting the results that I wanted in a moment. So I think we get so wrapped up on having results. It's like we got to see things in order to know we're doing the right thing. That's the thing, we're not always going to see the direction we're going to know if we're doing the right thing. Life is about the unknown sometimes.
And tying that back with the relationships, we don't know what's going to happen today or tomorrow. We just have to go. Be in the moment, man.
Sometimes the beautiful things aren't always visible in life. It's the things that you can't see. You must believe. Believing means you don't see it all the time. It's not there yet. But belief is what creates purpose. If you don't believe in anything, you believe in nothing, you'll fall for anything. If you believe in something, you stand for something. You live by that. It creates purpose. Now, because we can apply that same analogy to life. We know we have to live. We know we have to carry on tasks every day. Now, we can either live knowing that life is going to happen and we just live to live, and we're just here being dead, or we can enjoy the ride, live it with a purpose. Yes, we have a death date. It doesn't mean we have to dread those days all the way up to our death date just because we're living life. It may not be in the ways we want, but we gotta enjoy the ride. It's gonna go. It's just gonna go. Time is always moving forward. It's the most expensive luxury. It's something you spend and never get back. Spend it wisely. That's what it means when people say spend your time wisely. Don't waste time. Because time is a luxury. It's the only thing comparable to the dollar, but has the most value. And how we spend it, at least. Now we can spend it worrying about expectations, worrying about things that aren't happening, or we can spend it in the moment, whether it's through divorce, whether it's through arguments, whether it's through life tragedies, whether it's me having to jump off the boat, save someone out the water, or whether it's you having to worry about if you're going to wipe out or not when you're in the middle of a race. Worried if the clutch goes out. Worried if something goes out. Either way, just be there. So what? If it's going to go out, it's going to go out. If the divorce is going to happen, it's going to happen. You don't know. And the more you try to force an answer, the more you try to force it in a direction it's not meant to go, you're only forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
I love you, man.
Love you too, bro.
Love you, man. Every podcast, every video, camera on, camera off, I love you so much, man.
We going global, man. We so grind time, man.
Oh, man.